Coach Jeff Keller. Coach Keller has coached for 41 years and will be returning to Hastings High School in the fall for his 42nd year of coaching. He has been part of teams that have won 6 conference championships, having a string of 19 consecutive conference wins while at Troy High School. And while at East Grand Rapids for 3 years, the team was 38-2, putting together 2 consecutive unbeaten seasons, winning the Division III state championships in 2002 and 2003. Has qualified for the state playoffs 9 years while at Troy, Hastings, and East Grand Rapids, winning 3 district championships, 4 regional championships, and making the state finals 3 years. He has been awarded many Coach of the Year honors, including the Detroit Free Press Dream Team Coach of the Year in 1985. He coached Josh Butland, a USA Today All-American. He was an East-West All-Star Game West Coach in 1984, a 2-time MHSFCA Regional Coach of the Year, and served as a Regional Director in 1987 and 1988. What coaching has meant to Coach Keller: it has a positive impact on kids and myself. Develops lifelong relationships with coaches and players, and it kept me young. Coach Keller's comment on why coach: service to society and community was part of my upbringing. Help motivate kids to achieve their potential. And Coach Keller's biggest thrills in coaching: coaching my own kids. Andy and Joy. Given the opportunity to be a head coach at the age of 26 at a Class A high school, and defeating multiple unbeaten teams in the 1985 playoffs to reach the Class A state finals. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Coach Jeff Keller.
First, I'd like to thank the Michigan High School Football Coaches Association for this great honor. And I'd also like to express my appreciation to everyone who put the banquet together, and to Jack Carlson for his 29 years as being historian of the association. I started coaching in 1974 at a new high school. It's called Troy Athens. It was a big Class A school with no senior class. All the seniors were allowed to graduate from the other high school. Our first year we had 16 varsity football players, 6 juniors, 10 sophomores, and we played a varsity Class A schedule with that group. Needless to say, the first couple years were a little rough. We were 0-18, and then John Walker, who's being honored tonight, became the new head coach at Troy Athens, and I consider John my mentor. The last game of John's first year, we finally won. We beat Oxford that year, and of course that was a tremendous celebration. 3 years later, I became the head coach at Troy High School when our principal, John Toma, and our athletic director, Joe Francis, took a chance on an inexperienced 26-year-old. I have many fond memories of the 41 years of coaching. I remember when I was coaching with John, and one of our coaches came back from scouting. He was so well prepared that the only thing he found to write on was a matchbook. And the highlight of his report was their band was horrible and the crust box was small. Needless to say, the game did not go very well that next week. Another fond memory was during a home game, when suddenly we heard a strange noise coming out of the far end zone. And it's kind of a swishing noise. And then we heard another sprinkler pop open, and then another sprinkler. And soon the entire field was inundated with water. The opposing coach thought that we were doing it on purpose because he was running a shotgun and throwing the ball all over the place, and he actually accused us of turning the sprinklers on in the middle of the game. Needless to say, we had to take an early halftime. So that was in the middle of the second quarter. We took an early halftime, got the sprinklers off. The crowning blow of the night was we had filmed the game, and it was on local TV, and we're showing it to the community after the game. And that was kind of an awkward situation in the cafeteria, showing that game. Anyone who's been successful has many people to thank. I'm blessed to have coached with John Walker, but also many other coaches who's had a significant impact on my career. Two of the coaches that were with me during my entire tenure at Troy High School were Mark Baranicic and Gary Griffith. I had the privilege of coaching with Peter Sturzman at East Grand Rapids when they made the tremendous consecutive state championship run. The current staff at Hastings, Jamie Murphy, head coach, are a great group of guys to work with. Right now, I'd like to honor them. I'd like the entire Troy staff who's come back, as well as the Hastings staff and the volunteers, if they could please stand and be recognized. On a personal note, my immediate family has influenced me greatly. This week's been a tough week for our family. My mom passed away on Tuesday, and it's been a difficult week. She was the hardest working person I've ever known. My dad was an old school coach who was paid $10 a game after he lined the field. Sally, my wife of 40 years, only missed one game during my entire head coaching tenure. Sarah, our oldest daughter, has 4 grandkids with her husband Bob. Andy, our oldest son, and his wife Molly have beautiful twins. Andy was an all-league defensive lineman who played football at Hope and is currently an assistant principal at Hastings, which is an unusual situation. I retired from teaching English for 40 years last year, so we had an old Mr. Keller and a young Mr. Keller in the same building. Our youngest son, Joe, played football and graduated from the Air Force Academy and served our country, including overseas as an Army Ranger. I would like Sally, Joe, Andy, and Sarah to please stand up and be recognized. When Sally and I were first married, I was coaching 3 sports with no breaks between seasons. She took care of everything at home. When our kids were young, I went to school before the kids were awake, and when I got home, they were already in bed. An example of how she took care of things happened one Friday night. Our game was postponed during the second quarter due to severe weather, and we finished playing the remainder game the following day on Saturday. That Saturday morning, I left one house and came home to another house, and she had taken care of the entire move. Sally had taken care of the entire move seamlessly. She's been the backbone of our family since day one, and without her support, I would have been out of coaching a long time ago. Again, thank you to everyone who's been such a positive influence on my life and coaching career, and thanks to the Michigan High School Football Coaches for this honor. Thank you.